Well, correct. So maybe we need to go back to 1840 when Britain was the dominant power in the world, pretty much like America now, although America's being competed with by China. But anyway, so we're talking about 1840. New Zealand was just a couple of islands in the South Pacific. Britain was colonizing all over the world in 1840. A new queen had come to the throne in Britain. Britain was the superpower of the world, biggest navy, just won the Napoleonic Wars. It was crushing everything in its sight. However, a new queen had come to the throne in 1838, Queen Victoria, and she'd been Christianized, and she said, we're going to not go in like a military power and take over countries. We're going to actually work with the Maori people. That's what they're called in New Zealand. The native people in New Zealand are called Maori. And they said, we would work, the Queen said, we'll work with Maori. We'll let them have their land. By the way, in international law at that time, countries could go in and simply wipe out all the native people like pieces on a chessboard and put a flag up and say this is our new colony. But the Queen said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to have the free, intelligent consent of the natives, and we're going to let them have their land, and we're going to buy land from them. And so the country went along very well, been going along very well in New Zealand for many, many years. And then in 1975, a group of Maori decided that they would have a crack at taking over New Zealand, a coup. And this has been building for 40 years, and now it's really taken off. And so you have what we call elite Maori, a very small number of Maori, probably 1,000 Maori. New Zealand's population is 5 million, and only 14% of the country is Maori. So we're not talking about a dominant group like, the black Africans in South Africa were dominant. No, it's not that like that. In New Zealand, the native New Zealand people are only 14% of the population, so they're quite small. But within that 14%, there's a group called Elite Maori, and they are having a crack at taking over the country. And so I'm going around the country speaking about this. I've written a book, and we've sold 350,000 copies of that book in 14 weeks, which tells you the level of support there is against this elite Maori takeover. It's a coup to take over New Zealand. So our country is in the middle of a coup, and it's being done by stealth. So we have a serious political issue brewing in New Zealand, and some people are even saying civil war is coming, because the other 86% are very against this. And unfortunately, the small group inside Maoridom, the elite Maori, they are being funded by the government. They got into the government, they infiltrated the government, they infiltrated the Labour Party, and there's a very strong Marxist, socialist group in there, and that's what they're doing. They're taking over the country, having a crack at it.
I think what is the measures of success on this one? And in fact, have you seen these? Have you seen these pictures around of some person with tattoos all over their face or whatever, saying "proud to be Māori" out there?
Oh, look, there are.
I'm just going to try and show this on screen for people there. There it is. This is a. Billboards, big banners, and things like that. I've seen them plastered around the city. Now, if I was to go up there and have a big one of me, with a big smile on my face that says "proud to be white," I would be strung up by my Busker Browns. All right, now this is kind of like, people don't understand the definition of racism, is that it goes two ways. Number one, racism is denigrating somebody else because of their race. That's number one. Number two is being proud of somebody or giving them big ups because of just their race.